Okay, here's the solution to number 23 on page 127. Here's how to get you started at least. So I plot the points, and if you notice I use the space of, I use a space of 2 on the grid for each one, just so they're more spread out. So I plot point D, point E, and point O is just at the origin. And I want to plot F so that it makes a, when it says it has to be adjacent and supplementary, I'm forming a linear pair. So what I want to do is, if I want to make it supplementary, essentially what I'm doing is I'm trying to make a 180-degree angle, so I'm just going to kind of sketch a 180-degree angle. So that would mean like I want a 180-degree, I want to go completely around, right? Complete opposite side. You could do it like this. So let's plot, let's just kind of sketch a ray like this, ray F. I'm going to just sort of roughly sketch it like that. Okay, and it looks like I kind of need to go a little lower, don't I? So you can be as exact as you want. So again, I want to, this would be going the same direction, and I want to go the complete opposite direction, and then I want to figure out what point I'm going to be at. All right, and you can even take like a straight edge and like a ruler, and that looks like a pretty straight line to me. Now, it's hard to figure out, well, what point should it go to? It's hard to do that visually, but here's, think of it this way. This point 2, 3 is in quadrant 1. And then this is quadrant 2, if you remember how your coordinate plane works. This is quadrant 3. So I want to go the complete opposite direction. Well, what's the opposite of 2? Well, the opposite of 2 is negative 2. What's the opposite of 3? The opposite of 3 is negative 3. And it's no coincidence that this point goes through. All right, if I go 2 to the left, right, there's negative 2 on the x-axis. And if I go 3 down, here's negative 1, negative 2, negative 3. It's no coincidence that this point goes through negative 2, 3. So that's how you work that. That's one way. Can you guys see the other solution though? So that's if you make the 180-degree angle like this. Okay? But what if you instead of going opposite to this point, what if you instead went opposite to this other point? You made the 180-degree angle go like that. Could you see what the answer would be? Well, just like we went opposite to D, you could also go opposite to E. So look, this is going with E. I'm going to go completely opposite of E. I'm going to go like this, right? That's completely opposite of it. See how it forms a 180-degree angle or a straight line? All this, those are synonymous terms. Or forms a pair of supplementary angles. So that's a 180-degree angle that way. All right, and it's no coincidence that just like F could have been, the opposite point here at negative 2, negative 3. In this case, we can still call it, let's call this F prime, or you could call it a F2, because it's kind of the second potential answer for this thing. We can go opposite of this point here, which would be at negative 5, negative 1. It's really interesting how that works out. So no matter what these points are, you just make them, you pick a point on the opposite side, and you make a 180-degree angle. And that's how this problem works.